Well, I'm in the shower again. I just like the image of the shower head above my head. It reminds me of another time in which, I don't know, sometimes I have these flashbacks of things that haven't happened. I don't understand it. Do you understand it? No? Well, isn't the world a funny place? I want to speak about Mark Zuckerberg this morning. A hideously flawed individual, as we all are, but his engineering prowess is second to none, and his ownership of failure is also in this global political whatever world second to none. Facebook is basically the best, and if you include it, the whole meta kind of thing, if you include Instagram, the whole whatever. Not it isn't government, but it's a good kind of analogous anyway, structure to kind of mirror government. And it's fucked, it's flawed, but being worked on constantly, the structure of it to make it better. It also wants to make money, and it's not easy. Nothing's easy, so it has made hideous mistakes, and so have all of we, all of us. So have all of us, and so have all of us. It's easy to look at Mark Zuckerberg and blame him, but I blame all of us. And it's the same whether we're talking about Instagram, social media, Facebook, or whether we're talking about government. It's all of us. The one difference that I see is that Mark Zuckerberg embraces this kind of lean startup, to use a techie fucking startup culture reference, mentality, and a constant innovation framework. It's actually really unfortunate for someone like Mark Zuckerberg that he happens to be trapped and captured within his own creation of Facebook, Meta, Instagram. Because if his skill set was applied to, say, just innovation down some technological pathway, like roboticizing regenerative tree planting, which you'd think that's where we'd be, but we're not there. We're in this place. But at least he's trying and failing. I'll try this. Didn't work. Bring it back. Fail. This is where government and innovation seems to have taken a radical turn. Government doesn't do this. Government makes something. It takes a whole lot of effort to make it. And then it leaves it there in a dark, dusty corner, which is usually a wage, a couple of wages, a couple of buildings, a couple of payments, a couple electrical payments, all the things. Like a growth, like how mold grows on a shower, which I've spent a whole lot of time on my hands and knees in other people's shower in their moldy to try and replace their, God damn it, you don't want to know. Some people shower with their dogs, Labradors mostly. They love the water. But I guess there's a point when we will hit an inevitable pinch point where we go, well, where did all this government start? And then if we feel particularly dispossessed or attacked or ignored or silenced or, all those hideous words that describe potential misuse of power and, basically the wrong intention, the wrong action based on what they're claiming their intention is from the structure. This should be most evident if somebody, say Mattel made a fucking water pistol for children, sorry for the swear, and then just sold them a real gun. It'd be the most fucking terrifying and hideous Boxing Day in human history. Yet government does this every day. Now, I'm not saying Meta, in the internet, digital, whatever, replaces government. I'm saying that they shouldn't be at war. It's like being at war with the water pipes. Governments like in Rome, again, a bad example maybe. It's like being at war with the footpath. Imagine the way Labour land, which look at this stage, especially if E. Whitaker is in charge of that, I'm sure that he would love to start some nerd warfare against the fucking footpaths, and he'd probably at this stage win. But no, we use the footpaths, and what we do with footpaths, and this is a great example, is we develop etiquette within a footpath. If you drive your Hyundai Excel while drinking from a goon bag on a footpath, you're going to jail if you get caught. When you meet someone, you generally on the left down here. Again, in America, they have to do everything the opposite, so they would pass on the right, I'm guessing, unless they're in the water. And then, anyway, etiquette is developed in each additional innovative environment that we have and always have done this approach. Except for now, where this coalition of communists, led by China's totalitarian example, has just said, we own the fucking footpath, get the fuck on there or I'll shoot you. Etiquette went out the window. Collectively and all at once. Does that mean the same thing? No. Collectively, all of you, all at the same time, provably decided to throw thousands of years of etiquette development out the window and replace it with a robotic fucking drone army. And everyone can see it. The reason you're only hearing about it from a very select couple of people on the crazy, violent, dangerous interweb is because most of the people are so scared of the stormtrooper fucking clone army, death camp, marching fucking way Labour land, fucking hierarchy of elite fucking sociopaths that they keep quiet. And if it wasn't for a hideous fucking brain injury inflicted by a reckless bunch of teen AFL players who had also abandoned etiquette, perhaps I would be in the same place as you, but my disorder impairs me from really being concerned about my imminent doom. Isn't that a weird conundrum? Isn't that a weird occurrence? I think it's called irony, but I don't want to say it because you might all argue with me on the internet in the comments section about what the definition of irony is, like what you all did to Alanis Morissette, who was a wonderful Canadian singer who came up with probably what I would say at this stage would be the national anthem for the combined Communist Party of the world. In simple terms, it's called reading the room. Read the fucking room. If you're pushing in and spying and using, there's language barriers and you're in financial things and you've got 7 levels of concealment in order to pry your way into the Fort Knox that is Duncraig, then you might inadequately read the room. You might miss that subtle humanity in your experience within said room. My assumption was that this would pop rather quickly, but again, the digital environment was very new to me, so my assumptions were hideously wrong. This took far longer than it should have taken, and I think that's mainly because of the interjectors that stepped in the middle of the path, the hall monitors from Walaberland that knew better, that prevented etiquette to manifest, to self-emerge, as it always does. And now we're stuck in this perpetual kind of duel where I'm using etiquette, using the developed etiquette and the inherited etiquette from thousands of years of political and intercontinental discourse in order to peacefully, continuously try to extend this etiquette into the voyeuristic, potentially autistic cohort of intense management required to prevent etiquette emerging. And by the time I get to past 33 seconds of a video, who's really listening anyway? So this could be the longest suicide note. Not suicide, this is the longest ransom note. Ransom note, that's a better way to say it. The Walaberlandians would say, well, it was suicide by police because I don't know, dropped a playing card on the floor and I was hideously fucking shot down by a armada of waypole. I'm not sure. But I guess we're here. I'm sitting on a toilet. I have pants on. I'm just using it as a seat in a shower with a shower above my head on some type of anniversary or something. I think I don't know. There's been so many. Like it's like every day there's had some anniversary to commemorate some hideous act of government hideousness. Usually hallmarked by that same thing. Etiquette was removed. Well, Johnny, he came over my fence and it's like, well, I drove a armada of tanks into his backyard and exploded his children into the netherworld and evaporated them with cyanide gas and flamethrowing. Like, you can see how neighbourly disputes have degraded by the continuous removal of etiquette from human interaction. So, I would ask you, am I a criminal? Am I an online provocateur? Am I a violent man? Or am I trying to re-establish etiquette? Am I trying to firstly establish etiquette in this social environment? See, we all think this thing, everyone's very mean on social media. It's a terrible environment. I don't know. I think the proof is waiting out there to kind of dispel that myth. And if this example is anything to go on, this is me trying to establish etiquette in the social media, right? And then send that as a shockwave around, I don't know, whatever the neighborhood. I'm not going to get too ambitious with my projections. But perhaps if etiquette can be established in the social media world, which is a great place, especially if it's used transparently. So instead of phoning Wapapalaland Gestapo, you, I don't know, reply to a comment. Because it's the same. How much effort and wasted time and energy can we save by enforcing digital communication? But there's people watching and it's on record. Well, guess what? So is the court. There's people watching and it's on record. It's the basis of that whole judicial system. It just requires a mountain of paperwork. And the more you push into new territory, conceptual territory, in order to attack me, the more work I have to do. And then eventually, once I win, send the government the bill, which at this stage, I'm pretty sure bankrupts at least the West Australian government. And then who knows? And this is where we're at. And why? Because I tried to have a chat over a fence line rather than send in the fucking military, which is what Wapapaland Defence Academy looks like at the moment. They look like a military operation. Their advertisement is for a military operation. They use references from the Matrix, in which a rogue band of revolutionaries try and overthrow the largest, most powerful technological simulation known to man. That's a war. They describe it as a war thousands of times in the fucking franchise. And that's the ad you make for your stormtroopers? At least Darth Vader just made clones. He found one crazy bounty hunter that happened to be from New Zealand and also happened to marry the Queen of Atlantis and also happened to fucking have a fucking taste for eggs. And cloned them all. Like, that's efficiency. God, if at least if you're going to build a Death Star, at least be efficient about it. I hardly think Darth Vader was handing out fucking pamphlets, or outsourcing handing out pamphlets and outsourcing their election and like that ruins the whole veneer of Darth Vader and the Death Star, doesn't it? It always comes back to the Death Star. Anyway, I'm happy with this one. I don't know. I smile and grin after I press stop because I've gotten quite good at this. It's amazing what, trying to defend the life of your family and self and reputation and history and land and, I don't know, just general welfare of the entire fucking planet will forge into a man. And my tongue, as you can ask my girlfriend, is definitely up there with the most developed muscles, probably in at least this suburb, which is Kingsley, by the way.